People's Radio United.
What exactly is the Pirate Party? Like, how is it different from definitely the Republicans or Democrats, but even like the Green Party and some of the more liberal parties?
Oh, let's see. Well, I would say there's a tendency of pirates probably not to give much of a hoot about, or maybe I should see. I always hate to say we don't really care about political correctness, but that's not really true. It's kind of like we care passionately about not censoring things. And that means that everybody has a right to say what they think, right? In fact, you won't even know who your enemies are unless everybody can just say what they want, because at least you'll know what they mean, right?
Yeah.
Even if you don't agree with them. And I guess the Pirate Party has kind of these inborn premises that things like direct democracy can actually function, and that maybe an educated populace can actually run the society, and that government power is derived from the people. Radical things like that.
Yeah, that's it. It's, when I talk to people about the Pirate Party, I'm an anarchist, like I mentioned earlier to you when we were off the show.
Yeah.
And it just fits along with a lot of my values, I think. The people running their own kind of... I guess if we have to have a government, I'd want something like a Pirate Party.
The thing is that you kind of have to, if you really believe in direct democracy and the people having a say in government and having control of the government, then you kind of are expressing a level of optimism that is almost scary to a lot of people, especially people on the right wing, right? Because they don't think the people can take care of themselves, or they don't think they're capable of making decisions, or they need help, right? They need to be aided and guided by a great and imperialist leader. But we don't believe that, right? We believe that people, you can crowdsource a lot of things. You can come up with solutions, and I think that the internet and the Pirate Party are kind of complementary organisms, in that the Pirate Party believes in a lot of things that actually come out of the internet, like this idea. And probably more like the old internet, not an internet dominated by a few monopolies, but one where there's kind of this equity, because anything can attach and anything can talk to anything else, and kind of the open network concept, and that the sum of our collective knowledge shared over this media makes us stronger. And that can indeed work in government and decision making if we can get over the difficulty of the mechanics of actually talking to each other and interfacing with each other and kind of opening up our society. Because there's going to be criticism. Things aren't going to happen the way you necessarily want them. But
they're definitely happening how I want them right now.
Yeah, but a group consensus is good.
Yeah.
And then we're also big on rights. The rights of man, going back to the concepts from the French Revolution and into the 19th and 20th century, the development of the rights of man, that people have certain rights, and it was put in the Declaration of Independence as inalienable rights. Well, you know, if everybody has the right to life and liberty, then do we really have the right to imprison people just because they're not Americans, or take away their life because they're not Americans, or take away their life without due process? Or do we, you know, ignore the Bill of Rights or the standards, the international conventions that came out after World War II talking about human rights? The United States seems perfectly willing to right now ignore human rights, and yet we were the ones that crafted a lot of those rules after World War II. It's kind of ironic. We've become a very selfish nation that seems to put our own interest above everybody else's.
Yeah,
but that's now I'm harping.
That's okay. That's what we're here for.
Yeah.
What would it look like? Let's say in I don't know, let's say some years go by, people keep getting more and more fed up with every kind of government. You know, they realize they're being screwed by every side. And let's say some cities like Wisconsin, you know, I'm sorry, some states like Wisconsin or New York or California, you know, or even just some cities get a pirate party in. What kind of changes would they immediately start to do? What kind of thinking do you guys have on that? Like, what would change if you could change it as fast as possible?
Well, I don't. Again, I'm going to say I don't know because we are not a party that's got. Yes, the main criticism of the pirates in Europe, and it's a true criticism. We're not a party that has a big ideological bend or has a litmus test for how you should be a pirate. But we are a party that believes that in this kind of participatory democracy and direct democracy and things like most of the pirate parties support universal basic income as a principle, and we're for open, you know, an open internet. We're basically against the domination of the economy by large conglomerates and by monopolies. So those aren't weird. Those aren't way off the wall things. Those are a lot of those things, like dislike of monopolies, goes back to, you know, old-fashioned American progressive concepts. You know, states used to enforce the Sherman Antitrust Act. Nobody does it anymore. It's like we've kind of capitulated to large businesses dominating our society and, in effect, controlling the government. So we want the people to control it. We want the people to be involved. We want, you know, the power of the government really should be in the hands of people, not in the hands of an elite few. And I would like to think if we got elected, what you do is you would see a lot of reforms. You'd see a lot more emphasis on the rights of individuals, and that would be reflected in things like, I would think ideally under a pirate state, right, there would be less inner city African American males incarcerated. It would be more proportional, and we wouldn't be caught up with this law and order thing of imprisoning so many Americans. I mean, the United States imprisons a higher percentage of its population than any other country in the world. And I think we'd also move toward more like, I'm just thinking we'd give judges less power and go more with juries. More the idea that people can make decisions just as well as appointed officials. And I don't know, but I'm only speculating. We're a Democratic Party. I mean, the way, for example, I incorporated the party in Wisconsin is we're actually set up as a cooperative. That means everybody has one vote, regardless of where you are in the hierarchy of the party. Unlike, the major parties of the United States, if you're an elected official, you get special votes, or you're a big guy, you get special votes.
Yeah.
But we're trying to make things, I guess it's an egalitarian viewpoint, trying to make things egalitarian, where everybody is equal under our rules in our little pirate party.